Okay, well, first off, let me go ahead and we'll introduce the three not as interesting people, and then we'll go ahead and cover them. I am Apple Cider. I'm one half of the Bronyville podcast. To my left is Chef Sandy, who is the other half.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
If you haven't heard, I'm Final Draft. I'm the broadcast director and host of Everfree Radio.
They are the ones so graciously streaming everything. So let's see. Come on, Google Doc, you can do it. I know, Google, you can do it. I don't have real internet. I'm streaming off my phone.
Maybe they should introduce themselves.
What's that?
They can introduce themselves.
And the wonderful ladies to your right, if you would introduce yourselves.
Yes, would you please? I want to start closest here and then all the way over, if you would.
One after.
Hi, my name's Andrea Libman, and I play the voices of Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy.
Hello. Hi, I'm Ashleigh Ball, and I am Rainbow Dash and Applejack. All my faithful students, I'm Princess Celestia. Is my lip gloss giving like smackback or something? I'm Nicole Oliver. I also do the voice of Cheerly.
There we go. All right, great to have you three on. We can definitely talk just a little bit, definitely about the show, or what we can say about the show. Definitely a little bit of some loopholes and stuff that we can't, tackle over, i.e., hey, what's going on in the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. But we can definitely talk about your experiences. I kind of want to start off in the base level of you as a voice actress, or all three of you as voice actresses. And then moving on, and then we can get into a little bit more, working on the show, working with the production staff, etc.
First of all, can I just say, are there any little kids that are stuck
yes.
at the back of the room? Because if they are, I would really appreciate it.
Are there any small children? Please move to the front.
Little
That's cool.
kids, if they could come to the front of the room.
Make sure that they can do it.
I didn't mean to cause a big issue.
It's okay.
I just thought, sorry, I didn't mean to cause a big issue, but
No, it's fine.
Want to make sure
just make sure that they can see everything as well, and that they can get as much viewing time as they can. So let's see. Let's go ahead and start with you, Andrea. I know that earlier we had talked a little, or I had briefly overheard you say that you getting into the voice acting industry was a little bit like. Well, you've done it for a while, so would you mind going into that?
Yeah, so I've been in the business for over 20 years. So that's much more than half of my life. So I started when I was really, really young, when I could read and talk, and I did shows like Dino Babies and Madeline and Reboot.
I was looking at Reboot episodes earlier, just going like, she really did play that character. All right, well, that's awesome. Let's see, Ashleigh, what about you? Looking at least the IMDb's, it looks like you're a little bit newer to all this, but you also have this as well as a band?
Yeah, that's right. I play in a band called Hey Ocean. We're from Vancouver. We'll be touring through New York in no time, so just, keep your eyes peeled. I got into this game probably... It is a game, right? I guess it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I was really lucky and just got my foot in the right time. At the right time, and I've done a bunch of different... I can't remember the first cartoon I ever did. I've done a lot of Barbie stuff, and I was the voice of a Care Bear, an Oopsie Bear. I'm on Strawberry Shortcake actually as well with Andrea.
Oh, yes.
And it's been a whirlwind. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm just really happy that I get to be a pony because it's a great gig.
And Nicole.
Well, yeah, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I work on camera as well as behind the microphone, so get to do a lot of different things. It's cool. See, my first cartoon in Vancouver, because I'm from Toronto originally. Shut up! Yep. Was He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I was the sorceress. I seem to have a knack for these kind of really smart people, way smarter than I am, and much more. So I've done Strawberry Shortcake and the New Adventures of Tom and Jerry and 1001 Nights, and it's really great. It's a blessing the way I get to do what I want to do for a living, and I get paid for it too, which is crazy at times. And this is just a really great experience. So thanks for having us.
All right, I think you had a next question, dear sir?
Well, there were some rumors going around. This is for Ashleigh. There were some rumors going around for a while that you had a bit of a vocal injury, and what we were wondering is whether or not that was true, and if so, has it healed?
Yeah, I had a bit of a scary thing happen to me when I was performing with my band. My voice just totally crapped down on me. I was doing a lot of voiceover work right before we left for tour, and
You talk like this all the time, it kind of tends to wear down your vocal cords.
So yeah, it's definitely. It happened mid-show. I was just on stage and like halfway or like 3/4 of the way through the show, I just couldn't sing. It just like copped out. So we had to cancel the rest of our Eastern tour in Canada, and I just had to go in complete vocal rest, which I've never done before. So yeah, it was a bit weird. No talking for a voice actor. That's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. I can't breathe. So yeah, I'm healed. I'm still taking care of myself, and just trying to take some vocal healing classes. And yeah, I'm on the mend for sure. It didn't affect my my pony livelihood, so I'm all right.
I think we're all happy to hear that.
Thanks. Thank you for your concern.
So I had a really interesting question. I pulled some across from. Oh, hey Luna. I had some questions come across on our Twitter feed, and this was one that I thought was really interesting from one of our users, the Running Cat. He actually said, "So you guys, have there been any voice actors, as you've been maturing in the craft, that you guys have kind of used as a basis of like, hey, these are people who helped me out, or have kind of been a little bit of a guide as you push forward to get kind of make yourselves better as you play."
Nicole Oliver.
Oh, I'm much older than you, I guess you're saying.
No.
I think I can speak for myself. Since I'm kind of newer at this, there's been a lot of people in the industry in Vancouver, like Tabitha St. Germain, who's on the show, and Kathleen Barr and Kathy Westluck, who are all on the show as well. It's a small community in Vancouver, so you really get to know people, and there's a group of people that work up north. So, am I not close enough? Sorry.
Yeah, these are real sensitive. You got to get close there.
Yeah, so just people in Vancouver. I grew up watching a lot of cartoons, but I never really paid attention to the people behind the voices. I think it's a lot easier to do now because of the internet. So. Yeah, it's definitely been a pleasure to work with such fine women and men.
Oh wow! For me, most of my heroes have been theater actresses and actors, and stage and movie actor and actresses. I always love performers that don't let the medium define themselves. That choose to blaze paths and do things that people say they can't do. So. Going way back, Maggie Smith, who most people know as McGonagall in Harry Potter, but she was in a movie called The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, which was my first stage play, and I played Sandy. It's a great movie, a great play, and she has been amazing. I got to work with Alan Rickman when I went to theater school in England. That was pretty cool. And I guess in terms of just recently, I just did a movie with Alfred Molina, which he was Doc Ock in Spider-Man, but this guy is a theater actor, a stage actor. He goes way back. So those are the sort of people that I find my inspiration from. And then, to echo what you've said, the community in Vancouver is super special. It is so talented, so rich in the diversity of the talent available and the generosity of the performers we work with every day. It's a real pleasure and a learning experience all the time. So it's really great.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other big questions before we move into My Little Pony based fun. Let's see. Let's see. Had Hey Ocean.
I got one question real quick. Just because I know that the three of you all work in Vancouver quite a bit, it seems to me that at least observing a lot of the new TV shows that are coming out, especially on, say, Sci-Fi and USA, a lot of them are filmed in Vancouver. Would you say that Vancouver is, in a sense, becoming, say, a Canadian Hollywood of sorts? Is that something that you guys are noticing as well?
Oh, it already is. It's the second largest production center in North America, just behind Los Angeles. Bigger than New York, even. For all areas. So it's been busy for a long time, and for service production especially. For Fox loves us right now. They've got 3 shows up there. They have Supernatural, Alcatraz, and Fringe. So we've always kind of been a hub for sci-fi. I say, great, bring it on. That's all right.
Yeah, X-Files was filmed there.
X-Files was there. So. Yeah, it's a busy place, and they keep coming up for cartoons, which is wonderful, and I think that's to do with the talent of the writers and the crews that are there and the actors that are there, and also there's some great animation studios in Vancouver that are doing great work from the ground up, and I think that's a great buzz and draw for a lot of people too.
Okay, awesome.
I got one more.
Go on.
Well, and I guess the other question I got asked then is, before we start going into Pony, is there anything you guys would like to share with the fandom outside of Pony, projects you might be working on, things you may want people to know about?
Outside of Pony?
Well, I'm starting work on Supernatural next week. I can't tell you what I'm doing or who she is or anything. But
that's okay.
I'll be showing up in the back third of the season. So yeah.
Ray.
I got to work on a really cool series this year called Voltron Force, which is and it was my first like real woman role as Princess Allura. So it's on Nickelodeon, and I also got to take part in the new Iron Man series. So I play Black Widow. And that was really fun too. So yeah, watch out for those 2 series coming up.
My show's not as cool, but I'm working on a show called Maya the Bee. I don't know if you've heard of it. And I'm playing Maya, so yeah.
Starring role. All right, well, let's go ahead and transcend into what, I think most people are here today. Man, there's a lot of people here. But
great.
let's... Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of people here, and there's about 4 times as many online right now. So.
I think the question that is out there right now, that's probably the biggest, is that, okay, so they created this show called My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic.
Yeah.
It's targeted towards little girls for the most part.
Really?
Let me rescind that. but it does have that thing of like, okay, My Little Pony, it's a girl show using the big quotation marks.
Really big.
But it's definitely transcended into something a little bit different than that. Yeah. How do you guys feel about that?
I think it's incredible.
Yeah, I think
this is crazy.
This is great.
Yeah. I think it's really the series has a really positive message behind it, and it's bringing people together, and
there's a place for everybody, right? That's what I think. What I take from it is that It is all a team. We're all parts. We're all elements of harmony. We're all parts of the great circle, and that there is a necessity for each and every one of us to be here and to work together. And I think if there was more of that message out there in general, as hokey as it sounds, I think it'd be a lot better place.
No, it makes sense. What do you have to say, Andrea?
Well, I think, today for me is sort of the first time I've had the chance to interact with everyone. And everyone is so kind, so positive, so wonderful to talk to. It's just been so enjoyable for me to meet all of you. And I think it's a wonderful thing. And I'm thankful to be here and to get the chance to meet you.
You guys are doing a good job then. You're obviously not scaring them. Hey, you. All right, so as said, they've got the whole bronies, all of us on this, just pretty much saturating the internet with tons of just pretty much adding things out there. Music, art. Here's a good question for you. How long into, at what point did you find out that there was this momentum, this brony movement, or whatever you wish to call it?
I remember Jason coming into the studio and telling us, saying, "Oh, there's bronies. What's that?" Yeah. I'm serious, and then you've got all this whole fan base, and there's all these comments on YouTube, etc. And we were like, oh, no idea.
That was exactly my answer, Brian.
Yeah.
It was probably last summer, I guess?
It was,
last spring,
the end
summer.
of the first season, I think.
Yeah, whenever that was. But, it was Jason, who's the co-creator, producer, God, writes, signs the paychecks. And he came in talking about this counterculture movement called Bronies, and the message behind it. And at first, for me, I can only speak for myself, and I think I said this on an interview. My initial reaction was, "What? What?" But the more I interacted with the fan base, and the more I heard about the fan base, and there's a lot being written about y'all now. I think it's great. I think it's great. Why not? I mean, man, I wish more people would celebrate what they love and put it out there than hide in the shadows and all try and be the same bland piece of beige,
I think the impact of bronies first hit me when my bandmate Dave called me up, and he was like, have you checked our YouTube site lately for Hey Ocean? And he's like, there's been a bunch of comments about referring to My Little Ponies, and what the hell is going on? And I went to our YouTube channel quickly and kind of checked out some of the comments under the videos, being like, Applejack can sing, Rainbow Dash has a band, or whatever. And it was all these comments coming from bronies or My Little Pony fans, and it was pretty crazy, those worlds kind of meeting. And he was really confused as to what bronies were, but
now they know.
Yeah, now he knows.
They're fully aware, and you've had them show up at the concerts that you've had. I know that I've bought CDs. You should buy CDs. Hey, everyone, buy. They're on Amazon, at least one CD. So
iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes. There you go.
Yeah, you can
but
go
so
to
you've come into contact in meet space in the real world with them at shows and other events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, they have.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I've got a couple just quick specific questions, I guess. One thing is EFR did a interview with we did one with Maddie Peters and then one with Michelle Krieber. And both of them, this is for you, Andrea, both of them told us that you were really good during recording at switching between Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie like instantly. And my question for you is that true? And secondly, if so, is that something you train to do? Is that something you...
I paid them to say that.
Well, and the thing was that they both said that you even did that, say, during singing or whatever, that you were able to just switch right away, and they said it was seamless somehow. So I was.
That's so nice of them to say that. What's that?
Whatever you want.
Well, Fluttershy is really quiet and nice. Poor Nicole and Ashleigh, they're like, not that again.
That's why I walk into the studio with a bottle of Advil.
Sorry.
I think that's what we call proof positive.
Have another?
Yeah, I got another.
Go for it.
And actually, this is for you, Ashleigh. They both also told us that, first of all, that they're huge Hey Ocean fans, if they haven't told you. Oh. They both made a big stink about that.
That's sweet.
My question is, when you sing for Hey Ocean and when you sing for My Little Pony, do you do it differently? And if so, have you ever found when you're singing for Hey Ocean that a little bit of Applejack seeps in a little bit?
Maybe if we were to record like a hoedown song or something.
I think you should record a hoedown song.
A pony hoedown. Yeah, I think I definitely try to sound differently from my normal singing voice when I sing for both characters. I mean, obviously a little bit of my own singing voice is going to sneak in there, but yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed it sneaking in on stage.
Well, I'm not accusing.
Unless we're doing like a Dolly Parton cover or something. But yeah, no, I try to keep it as separate as possible, and yeah, just do my best to stay true to the character and not let any, Hey Ocean sneak in there.
Well, and I got a follow-up question for you as well, which is, where did you develop the Southern accent from? Did you watch something, or did you just, because when we asked Michelle Krieber this, she just said, oh, I just did it.
I just did it. Well, when they first asked me to audition, or when I first got the audition for both parts, yeah, I didn't really think I had a great Southern accent. It wasn't something I did very often, but I tried to make Applejack kind of a cross between like Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton, sort of. And I listened to lots of Dolly, and she's got quite the Southern accent. So yeah, it was just kind of listening. I think I'm very ear trained. Like I just hear something and I try and pick it up as well as I can. So yeah, it was just a lot of listening to Dolly interviews. What did she say? It costs a lot to look this cheap. That's one of her sayings. But yeah, I don't think I'm like right on with it, but yeah, it's a really fun character to play for sure.
As a native Southern, you do a good job.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, sir.
You do a pretty good job on that. One thing I've noticed, and this was just in one of the behind the scenes videos that I caught, and you've kind of alluded to it a little bit as well. It sounds like that, opposed to in some environments where the voiceover action all happens, you go into your booth, you do your lines, you pop back out, that's your day. It sounds like that by the way that they have their setup, you guys are all in the room together, just interacting and being able to kind of gauge off of your reactions. How do you feel that? Do you feel that a lot of that like energy comes across on the show, and like does that make the entire process a lot better?
Oh yeah. We feed off of each other so much in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, Tara's in LA. Unfortunately, she's not with us up in Vancouver. But for the most part, yeah, we're all in the room at the same time and feed off of each other and try hard not to laugh at each other at the double entendres that Tabitha always brings up in the script.
But yeah, it's definitely it's a lot different than, like, for example, doing Japanimation stuff, because you're in a room with headphones on listening to beeps, and it's dark and scary and you're alone. But these series they're so much fun. There's so many. Like, I think I look forward to it every week.
I look forward to Tabitha also brings in cookies every week.
She does.
That's really great.
Oh.
Tabitha plays Rarity for those of you who don't. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of Tabitha fans because they're just the points where Rarity just decided, or Tabitha decides just to go ahead and just sink in that character and really just own her role.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. She is so good at that.
It's amazing. And her Granny Smith is unbelievable. I can't do Granny Smith. That's untouchable. She's
if they want to go ahead and break down into voices later, we can do that, but that's dependent on all of what they want to do. Yeah, but I think first we'll do that before it all turns into Monkey Town. Just to be gentle on them. You have something?
Well, I was going to say, when you were talking about, the difference in how the show is recorded, one thing I saw when I was looking at some of the production photos was that occasionally, especially for the singing, they'll record in kind of, relatively unusual places. I saw one where they were recording for at the gala, and they were in a large room with a big brick wall. When we were talking to Maddie Peters on EFR, she said that she recorded her Cutie Mark Crusaders song in somebody's house. So I was just curious, when you're recording for My Little Pony, is it different in terms of the venue than the other projects that you've worked on, like for you, all three of you?
No, we did some of the singing at Daniel Ingram's friend's studio, I think it was, at the beginning, but now we're doing everything at Studio B. So all of the singing and then the episodes are all recorded at the same space. So yeah.
Do you do the singing and the voice work at separate sessions then? I mean, is there a special time set aside then for the musical side of it?
Yeah, we usually do it before the session, just to wear us down. And then we have the song stuck in our head like forever. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up.
You better be careful with that. That's some ammunition you can use.
Well, and
you'll get this. I don't even want to give them the ammunition to start shooting it back. So they'll do it.
Well, when that song reminds me, I was going to ask, do any of you listen to any of, say, the Brony musicians' remixes of the songs? Have you heard what they've done with your voices?
And they're all good.
Because there are quite a few out there.
Yeah, I have to be honest. I have not listened to all of it. I've seen some of it. There's a lot.
Yeah.
The volume is mind-boggling and humbling, and
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's great, but I may Google from time to time, late at night, while alone.
You got to be careful with that.
Yeah, I think I recently heard a song that someone created. It's like a techno remix, and it's just taking. Sorry. Sunshine and.
I don't. Let her describe it first.
I don't know what it is, but it's literally just like a line that Rainbow Dash says, and it's like I don't even know what the line is. It's like one phrase, like I think I'm just yelling something. I don't even know what, but it just like takes that one line and just like makes this crazy techno thing out of it. So that was pretty cool.
I haven't heard much of the music, but I've seen quite a bit of art, and it's pretty phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys at least browse around a little bit. Not to the extent that you're probably hitting websites every day. It's just an occasional, just like I wonder what's on YouTube this week, or this month, this quarter. Just make Equestria quarterly for you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, Seth. She said it's great. Make Equestria quarterly.
It's like things you should know.
Yeah, there he is. There's man sitting there right in the middle, beaming. Sorry, that's your magazine you got to make.
Well, that actually brings me to one more question for you guys. Is there something in the fandom you would like to see, either art-wise or music-wise? Because I've asked this of other voice actors before, and I warn them when I say this, that anything you say will probably get done by tonight.
Is that a challenge? on the spot. And can you guys think of anything that you haven't seen that you want to see? I feel like you just opened the world of opportunity.
You have thousands.
I know that was an evil question to ask. I apologize.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I think this is out there. I think you've had Rarity design clothes for all the ponies, right? Has somebody done that?
There have been.
That's done. That's so old, Nicole. Get over it.
No, there have been like stuffed animals done with the gala dresses and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that has been done, both in like physical form and stuffed animal form. What was the obscene price that the one for the one sold on eBay, like $2,000, $24.75 for a stuffed animal of Fluttershy in the gala dress. Yeah.
Wow.
And just to toss another bit of simmer now. Simmer. It's okay.
Simmer.
Another thing that I think, we can kind of add to this, and I think this kind of goes to something I think Nicole kind of alluded to, is the show it does work for children, and we kind of have to put that definitely first. One thing.
Well, I guess my challenge would be then, with all this talent, is there a? Can you tell him? Is there a children's charity or something maybe you can do an auction for where the proceeds go to St. Jude's Hospital?
Yeah. You want to come up here? Hold on. We actually have just the thing.
Have you guys heard of the Humble Brony Bundle? Yeah! These guys and everyone on the live stream and everyone at home raised $17,500 in 5 weeks, and 30% of that went to Child's Play that helps get sick children in hospitals, video games.
Yes.
The other 30% mostly went to Red Cross, and then the rest went to guys who are just like you, living the dream, making independent games and selling them DRM free to everyone so they can get them easily and play them.
Oh,
so
fantastic.
I think there's Kevin here from Bronies for Good. Bronies for Good is right now having a Smile charity album. I can't remember the exact. I think it's just broniesforgood.com. Go to broniesforgood.com. It's still ongoing. I'm still collecting, but we're in a lapse right now. But go to broniesforgood.com, and all their proceeds are going directly for the Children's Cancer Association. There are already over 16,000 last I checked. Good job, guys. Keep it up.
And I just want to quickly mention, I just got.
So everything's been covered.
Quickly mention, real.
But that is something that I had no idea about, and that I am thrilled to know about, and I think more people should know about, because I think it's really important to give back and that's part of what the show's about too, right? So that's wonderful. Congratulations. That's great. Really, really.
And I just wanted to quickly mention as well, and Maddie Peters mentioned it on EFR, she is running a charity as well through World Vision to help alleviate drought that's happening right now in southern Africa. So far, mostly Bronies have raised, at least last I checked, $4,000 towards that effort. Her goal is $10,000 by the end of the year. I'm hoping we can do that by the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you can. Again, Maddie Peters, if you don't know, is the voice of Scootaloo. So, her link is on EFR's website, www.everfreeradio.com. You go there, on the right side of the page, there's a link there. Click, donate, it helps, it's great. It's what this fandom's all about, so.
Mm-hmm. There you go. I didn't mean to railroad it too much, but I was just kind of like, you want to know what we've done? All right, we got some information. No, it's totally fine.
It's great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Just wanted to go ahead and be like, yeah, have you heard about these crazy things we've been doing? And it's like,
No, now I have, and now I'll spread it around too.
hey, do you know what my fans are doing?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a bragging point for you guys. I think it'll be good.
We started a movement somehow. We did voiceover work, and all of a sudden it's turned into this crazy phenomenon.
No, that's you. That's all. It's all you. It's all you.
Well, you know, to bring it maybe back to the show a little bit.
That would be a good idea. Let's go for that.
I know that I talked to you a little bit about this, Nicole, and we did our interview last month. But we keep hearing over and over there's going to be more singing, more music happening as the season progresses and as the next season progresses. Just wanted to know, are you guys still recording? Are you guys still working on that?
Are we still working on episodes?
Well, I heard that there was a big push for episodes just a couple of weeks ago. I was just wondering, whether or not you guys are doing a lot more music, because that seems to be the trend we've been hearing about.
There is always music in the shows. As to who sings is always a mystery every week until the script comes out.
Certainly.
And for you to see who will be singing in future episodes, you'll have to keep watching.
I think you can count on that.
Hey guys, that means there's future episodes. Future episodes confirmed.
Yeah, season 3 is looking really good.
It is.
Stay tuned.
Actually, if I may go into just a little bit I'm kind of curious with what we've had released thus far, which is all of season 1 and a bit of season 2. And of course, I know that you've got season 2 and 3 in your brain right now. I guess the easiest thing to go is season 1. Was there? You mentioned Winter Wrap Up. Have there been any other songs that you guys really enjoyed doing that have been just really fun on your end?
I really like doing my pet song with Andrea. I thought
it's a little
fun to have our little duet time.
Yeah, that's great.
For some reason I can't remember it right now.
I like doing my lullaby too, Fluttershy's lullaby.
If they so wish. If you so wish. Or if you want.
Hush now, quiet now, it's time to lay your sleepy head.
Aww.
Yeah. And suddenly, all across this room and the internet, a single tear went down someone's cheek. Yes. What we've been waiting for all night. 2,200 viewers.
I'm trying to think of other songs. I guess the Gala song was pretty epic. Yeah, we all had our moment to shine.
Mm-hmm. Been waiting, I've been dreaming to fly with those great ponies.
That's my favorite part. Yeah. Let's have a sing off right here.
Thank you.
You're fine there, don't worry.
See, now this
what else
is
needs
the
to be
conundrum.
said?
This is the conundrum we're faced with here.
Yes, with
whether to go to audience questions.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Well, I have to say, let's see.
It's a trap.
Question, we're getting a lot of shaking heads, no.
If you can do that, that would be great.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, staff could help out. If you guys want to go ahead and run around and see if there's any questions, screen it for us.
You can do it. Now, I will ask a favor of the fandom here. Clearly, these are 3 extremely important people involved in the show.
Don't creep them out.
Limit yourself to actual questions.
You guys have any questions?
We all can agree they're awesome.
Yeah.
And telling them that you think it's true,
Do you have any?
it's assumed, I think. So if you guys have actual questions for them, then raise your hand.
Do you have a...
But they're being screened,
Over there with the pink
so
Does she have a question?
think about your questions.
Our first question, is this on?
Yeah, all right, I think.
Our first question comes from Delk over here. He's asking, is there a question that you've never been asked that you wish it was, and what's the answer to that?
No.
Didn't think so.
Is that a riddle?
I've been asked questions I wish I have never been asked. Me too. And the answer to those were usually terrible.
I will apologize personally for doing that. Yeah.
Don't creep out the VAs, kid.
Andrea, what was your reaction to hearing your normal Fluttershy voice turned into Flutter Guy? Male Fluttershy during the first Sakura episode.
Oh. Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite things that ever happened in the show because I thought it was brilliant because there couldn't be a bigger contrast, right? Like,
and in person there couldn't be a bigger contrast between
us side by side is pretty much hilarious.
Funny.
And then voices side by side is awesome too, and he's an incredible actor, so I thought it was awesome.
Oh, look at that. We got a line now. Or is this a line now?
Do they want to ask directly, or is it?
Yeah, we could ask. We could try that. We could see. Half hour, yeah.
Then we've got...
Have there been any lines or particular moments from recording shows that have personally touched you?
Oh.
Ooh, remember
Princess?
Script. Yeah.
Well, I often have these massive stories I have to tell, right? And make them and bring the history in that. So I just remember the first couple of episodes being scared out of my pants, wondering what the heck I got myself into, because very rarely do you go into a script where you read the first page, it's all chunks, right? I just see Princess Celestia, and then one, and it kept going for like 5 pages, and I was like, what the? So those are trying to make a historical something to get everybody up to date of where we're at, trying to make it meaningful and emotionally relevant. That's where I panic, but also I think the juiciest, funnest stuff to do as an actor. Yeah. As for specific lines,
It's hard
I
to
just
recall.
love saying every pony. I love trying to find out where the writer missed like a horse reference.
Yeah, totally.
You know, thump your hooves, this is where to clap your hands.
Yeah.
You know, those are kind of our fun games in session.
Manhattan.
Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah, just go through there, and you're just looking like, this is a better thing. Take it back to the writers.
You missed this.
Yeah.
You missed this.
Everybody, what's that? This is actually I can kind of extrapolate on this a little bit. Nicole, playing as Celestia and also Cheerily,
Yes.
You do kind of serve as a moral guide almost to the show.
Well, it's not a far extension from that.
All right, kids, knock that off. It's done, so has a bit of that.
Our next question comes up actually from Alex S. He's one of the most famous musicians in the Brony community.
I love your work.
Hello. Okay. So, on behalf of the Brony musician community, I was wondering what is the likelihood of you guys working with some of us on songs and whatnot?
Well, I think I can jump in on that. There's probably some contract stuff in the middle of that.
I know that, but
I mean, we encourage you guys to make remixes and stuff of the episodes and the songs that are already out there. I think that's really amazing what you guys have done. So I guess continue doing that. I don't know, as far as like collaborating with the show, we don't have any part of
we have no say over what is written or over the music that is created until it comes in front of us, and then we have to lift it off the page. Yeah.
I'll contact their agent.
Yep.
That's good.
Are you going to be playing here tonight or today?
I think I need to quick just say, Alex, I think I need to quick to say that you need to make a point to make sure that Andrea hears Party with Panky. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks.
Thank you.
That's Alex Jess, everybody. I apologize, every pony.
Okay, this is Connor Cashman.
Hi, I got two things. How do you feel when you read your lines? Do you actually feel really silly when you read them?
Silly? Well, if it's a silly line, you feel pretty silly. A lot of the time when you're, I know Andrea has a lot of conversations with herself, and me too, being two ponies, you feel a little bit nuts when you're going back and forth, that one episode when I challenged myself to the Iron Pony competition. It was, I felt like a bit of a nut job, but you get used to it. It's, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Extra crazy.
Okay, and one more question for Ashleigh. Can you please, in an angry Applejack voice, say, "Forget you, this is, I can eat all these apples"?
Forget you, I can eat all these apples.
Now, for clarification purposes, I think it bears a little bit of clarification for her.
Yeah.
You just did a line from a popular fan animation.
Yeah.
For a what?
You just fed the internet, and the internet rejoiced.
Yes, you did. That's why.
Okay. Next person.
Which pony do you think you're most like, and who is your favorite?
Well, undoubtedly, I'm most like Princess Celestia. I mean, come on. A little Celestia?
Well, my students, I'm very, very happy to see you all today, and I hope you all take away the spirit of friendship with you.
Does it have to be our own character?
No. Whichever. Go for it.
I want to be like Pinkie Pie because she's such a party animal. It's pretty cool being Rainbow and Applejack. They're both pretty down to earth ponies. So I could never choose between either of them. They're both very dear to my heart.
Andrea?
I think who I'm most like is probably Twilight Sparkle because I like reading. I like reading and books and love to have her library.
Yeah.
She is a pretty good pony.
Okay. This is Andrew H.
So one reason I think that the fandom has spread so far is because all these people here, all these wonderful people, can relate to the different characters and perceive them in all these different ways. Like, for example, Twilight Sparkle and Celestia I immediately perceive as like a grad student and her professor advisor. And, I totally relate to the episode where she freaks out about not getting a weekly research report in. So it's just, I noticed that there's so many different perceptions about this. Is there any character that you perceive in a peculiar way? And is there any particular character that you associate with because of that?
Deep, all right.
Snap indeed.
Well, you know what character I quite like watching is listening to is Rarity, because she's really much deeper than she presents herself to be, and I think she kind of represents that judge the book by the cover axiom where you look at her and you think she's a certain way, but she's got lots of deep thoughts, and she's very caring, and that's why she's one of the ponies. But I really like her character. I mean, Tabitha's performance is fantastic and fun, And I love all the way she talks and the almost British kind of old-fashioned stuff. But yeah, a rarity, I think, for me is somebody who you see a certain way but perceive as much differently.
I think a part of the question he was asking there is there a situation, say, in your life that you can relate to from the show, something that happened in the show that you can kind of, maybe something like that?
Yeah. I think that for me, Applejack is an amazing pony that I can really relate to because family is so important to her. And for me, my family is like huge. So I think just like having that instilled in this pony is it's really important. So is it bad to say that my own character is my... No. Okay.
We're not setting any rules here.
Okay,
You're fine.
Cool.
You're cool. All right, shrug. Okay.
We have a shrug. That's the way. Okay, this is...
backwards tag.
This is CJ Loomis, a.k.a. Wolfbane.
Yep. Okay, you've noticed how big the fan base has gotten so far. My question is, how much bigger do you think it's going to get, and for how long?
I think as long as My Little Pony exists, there will be bronies. Don't you think?
As it was written. One would hope.
I mean,
there must always be a brony king.
Oh, look at the goatee on this guy.
Okay, we have Rocker Brony.
Rocker Brony, a.k.a. Joseph. I just wanted to know, there's a lot of voice mimicry popping up around the internet. Do you guys approve or disapprove of how they're using your voices and mimicking?
There's people doing pinkies and Fluttershies and just for usually fan products and things like that.
I guess it totally depends if it's appropriate or inappropriate. You know, you don't want your character talking about some whacked out stuff. So
I haven't heard anything, but I mean, I think it's great. I mean, it's like a creative expression, right? So if people want to do voices and put it out there, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, they say mimicry is, it's a form of flattery. But for me personally, with my personal moral base, I mean, as long as it's tasteful, and then that's fine. If it veers off into that, then would I be supportive of it? No, but would I say it has no place? No, that's not my place to do so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, we have Maxwell Shear.
What was it like working with John Delancey?
I wish we got to work with him.
Break your heart. We didn't get to work
he
with
recorded it all separately, so we did not get to meet the
Which
wonderful
was
man.
Sad.
But it was so cool to hear his voice as Discord. Like, that was incredible.
Are you Star Trek fan?
Yes.
One Star Trek fan there.
Yeah.
This is
Narmeen Shaheen. I have a question for you. How is it like doing Pinkie Pie in that one episode when she just kind of loses it and she becomes like really depressed? And
Which episode is that? I'm
sorry. Ooh, hot dig.
Just always seems to freak out.
Yeah. The one where she invents all those. Oh yeah. I think it was a huge challenge, and it was fun. So fun. And you guys were really supportive of me because I remember everyone in the room just kind of going, "Okay, you can do it." And it was like crazy, but fun.
Okay, next up is Michael Schnabel.
You do Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie, but you must have a favorite that you like to voice act.
Why? I know, but don't you think that they both have really great qualities? And
It's apples and oranges.
I like them both.
We don't have to get into best pony arguments right now.
Yeah, let's try to avoid that question if possible.
Okay.
It will go nowhere good.
Okay, Joystick.
What's your favorite episode?
It might be ones that aren't published yet. That's a problem.
Yeah. That's very.
The first episode was pretty phenomenal. Like how, just the beginning of everything in Ponyville and how Twilight came to live there, and the whole story that backs it up. The what? The introduction to all the characters. It was
the beginning's always the best because we knew there was more to come, right? And so if that's where we started, wow. Well, what else was? What's your favorite episode?
Sonic Rainbow.
That was pretty cool. It's hard to say. We love them all. The ones that we're in, those are our favorite.
So I have a question for you guys. I can't, kind of nervous. What do you?
Don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's all cool.
Don't worry.
You can do it. Okay. What do you got to say about the people who are kind of like hating on the bronies? For example, how when I told my sister about this whole phenomenon, she said that everyone here is a pedophilia. No offense. So in other words, what do you think about? Because there's gonna be some people who.
So
long story short, what do you think of all the people who think that everyone who watches this show is like either gay or being a child and stuff?
I think the way I'd rather address it all is we're here for positivity, and what you know who you are, you know what you're about, and you don't have to prove anything to anybody else but yourself. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. As I said before, you can either listen to it or not listen to it. But personally, I'd rather just keep on the positivity trip and have the negativity go away.
We've obviously had the chance to talk and to meet a bunch of you today, and you all seem like really lovely, caring, wonderful people. So whatever the internet or whoever's hating on you guys, just ignore those people, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're just expressing yourselves. So.
I had a little note. A show, my thoughts on it is that a show can stand on, it's animation. A show can pretty much be whatever it is on its own merits. If it's good animation, if it's a good story, if it does what it's supposed to do and it does it well, content shouldn't matter. If it's made for, the smallest of children up to, your Adult Swim and your very mature work, as long as it is produced well and that there's care and love put into it, it'll succeed. It'll work.
The story is the story. That's always, going to film school. That's what I had nailed in my head every day. The story is the story is the story. What's the story? Does it matter to you? Can it impact other people? Then that's what matters.
I think clearly that this show, has those elements. That's why we're all here. It's why we're all here. Is because it has that, it has that kind of impact. So.
All right. Okay. You want to go ahead?
Hi, Reese Vallow. On the subject of derpy hooves.
Well, first, do they know Derpy Hooves?
Where is he? I met him.
Isn't Derpy's a girl, right?
All right.
Boy.
Yeah, we do have a Derpy.
Okay. So Derpy's kind of a silent character. What do you think she sounds like? And could you maybe do an example of what you think her voice would be?
You're treading thin ice right there.
Yeah, that's kind of thin ice because, for all we know, that could be treading on future revelations.
Future thing, contract things that might be a little dicey.
Does she not have a voice yet?
No, it's completely one of the backgrounds.
She's the if she's the gray character in the back.
The gray character with the eyes that go like this.
Yeah.
So what's the next question? We don't know anything about Derpy Hooves. We're not at liberty to say.
Hi, this is a question for all three of you. I was just wondering, I think we're all wondering if you enjoyed yourselves at Bronycon so far, the Bronycon experience. And I'm sure we'd all love to have you back in the future. Would you ever consider coming to another Bronycon?
In a New York second.
On behalf of Jack, I'd love to come back to Manhattan anytime. Is where?
Oh, there you go.
We met Lauren before.
We met Lauren, yeah.
Okay. This is Christopher Wilson.
While waiting for the new Pony episodes, I've caught a few episodes of the new Strawberry Shortcake, and I noticed that the characters Lemon and Plum Pudding sound almost identical to Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. Is that something you did on purpose?
I don't know why that would be.
Or did that just come naturally?
That would be strange, wouldn't it?
Oh, I think the characters we play on Strawberry Shortcake are a lot more. They're a little more cutesy, I think. Would you say that? They're a little more like cute and more geared towards little girls, and they're a little more. She's a little more less raspy and badass than Rainbow Dash.
About 20% cool.
Yeah, she needs to be about 20% cooler.
I hope the internet was back for that. I hope the internet was back for that one.
Hi. Okay, everybody, calm down.
We had a nickel jar for every time somebody mentioned that.
Yeah, that's one of the more popular phrases that's used. So.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
First off, I just wanted to say thank you so much for what you guys have done and what you're doing. I think everybody here obviously really appreciates it. But that's not really a question. My question is, we've gotten a lot of feedback from Lauren Faust and from Jason Thiessen, and they made it clear that from the get-go, they wanted to make something a little more than your average little girl's cartoon. They had something bigger in mind. And I was wondering if you guys have a moment in your mind of when the first time you kind of realized that was happening, or if there's anything that you could point to.
Well, when I saw what an episode looked like, I realized it was going to be very different. I mean, the artwork is fantastic. And just the artwork for sure was something that made me realize it was very different. Yeah,
I think just reading the episodes, like they would just keep getting better and better and like way more complex, and just the storylines are really they're a lot different from your run-of-the-mill cartoons that you're getting these days. So yeah, I think that definitely makes it stand out.
I also found that they let us run wild in a sense, especially me. It's like, I'll do something and then they'll say, "Oh yeah, great." And I'm like, "Really? You're gonna keep that and put it in a show?"
I think the character demands
What's going on?
Requires a little insanity for Pinkie Pie.
This is Brian, just Brian.
Hi, Brian.
All right. How you doing? All right, so, just Brian. All right. So one thing I was kind of wondering, one of the, I guess you say, the dominating factors I've noticed in voice actors, and voice actresses especially, is essentially they all have talent in singing. And is that something that is that kind of a requirement to...
I thought you were going to say we're so good looking in person. You couldn't believe
That's
it.
assumed. That's assumed. Common knowledge. That's assumed.
And then, so I saw some not essentially head shakes. I guess not a requirement.
Well, I don't know if it's a requirement, but there is certainly, if you do sing, you can understand if you're placing a voice up here or you're placing a voice down here. It's a tonal thing. And I think if you're a singer, you can do that and keep doing it consistently over time because you're trained that way. Yeah.
And singing, I assume to be a good singer, you have to have a really good ear for things
absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
And then kind of a follow-up, Miss Libman, how come you don't sing Pinkie Pie? What's up with that? Just a contract decision.
Andrea's voice naturally singing is really a lot, I think, rockier and bluesier than they were looking for.
Thank you.
So
we don't really know why. She could do it.
I think as Flourish, you're absolutely incredible.
Thank you. Thanks.
Oh, here's something. Oh, show it to the crowd.
It's a beautiful picture of Princess Celestia.
There we go. There you go. Look at it. There you go. Just won.
I got a little something in my eye right now.
Yeah. I think there's some dust flying in the air. Something.
We have time for maybe about 3 more questions.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we've only got time for about 3 more questions. We're sorry to everyone in the line.
I always feel bad for the fourth person.
We've got Daniel.
We got how much time?
Okay.
We got to do Daniel after.
Okay, so we may have a little bit more time than that, but let's see.
Mr. Mark Misery.
Fake name, of course. But I was just asking, I was just wondering for you, Ashleigh, since you're a singer, would you want more singing parts for Applejack or Rainbow Dash?
Yeah, I mean, I love singing. It's always fun for me to sing in a different voice and kind of have that challenge. And yeah, I mean, I'll sing whatever song comes my way, and I'm totally excited for future episodes, whether I'm going to be singing or not. It's
maybe kind of.
Maybe, who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. Nothing.
La 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 la.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I love it. I love singing. It's
of course,
great.
Applejack wouldn't lie.
Oh no, never tell a lie. Never tell a lie. Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Trevor.
All right, my question is, you three obviously have a lot of years of experience with voice acting and also like live action roles and such, and people say that has a lot of connection. What would you three, what would be probably the most essential, single biggest piece of advice you'd have to give to someone who's aspiring to do voice acting?
Oh, biggest piece of advice for aspiring voice actor. It's a tough world to get into, definitely.
Sorry if I gave you a hard question.
No, it's a really tough game. I get a lot of people asking me, how do I do this? Should I do this? I also have 2 little boys, and I think voice actors are voice acting is way better than on camera acting, especially for kids, for anybody, because it's actually something where it's based on your talent, not on what you look like, right? So
I can do a little boy, and it doesn't matter if I look like this, because I can do that voice, right?
So, but I would never get cast on camera that way. So I think I'd say practice. Love it to the toes and back. Be able to look in the mirror, get a thick skin, and never give up.
And yeah, for sure. That's what you got to do. I think accents definitely come into play, too. For people that can easily slip in and out of accents, I've definitely noticed that that's a good tool to have under your belt. And also for any women that are looking to get into voiceover work, a lot of little boys are cast as women are cast to play little boys. So
because our voices won't change.
If you can do a little boy voice, it's probably a good idea that you get into it.
Because, look at her. Like Bart Simpson is played by a woman, as you guys know. Yeah.
Okay, and final question, Katie.
Hi, Katie. Hi. I guess a few things back kind of blew my question out of the water. I know you don't sing Pinkie Pie, but on the Hub, they aired a commercial called Equestria Girls, which was a parody of California Girls. If any of you saw that, what did you think of it?
I just
thought it was adorable.
Yeah, it was. It was super cute.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they got the rights to do that. I guess they did, though.
Really cute.
Yeah, Katy Perry must be a brony. No.
Well, we just found out.
She at least knows about it.
Yeah. The world is starting to figure it out.
Well, we just found out that Anthony Bourdain might be one, so we'll see. Yeah, he was making some tweets on Twitter that were.
He's like, I should stop on over.
Yeah, so.
All right, well, that takes care of the line here, and we'll need to get a little bit set up done for the Daniel Ingram interview coming up as well. No. Can't do that, sadly.
Hey, everybody.
So, first off, I want to go ahead and thank all three of our wonderful guests right here.
Thank you for having us.
As you can see, you have definitely impacted a whole bunch of people. All these crazy miscreants. You have definitely made an impact on them, and made some really great stuff in the process. Known or unbeknownst to yourself.
Everybody.
And yeah, just go ahead.
Well, we're going to be out there signing for like maybe another half hour or so, and then I know I'm jetting out of here tonight. But thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
And look forward to seeing you all really soon somewhere.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Hi, this is Apple Cider from Bronyville, and I have Chef next to me.
Hello, hello. Hey.
And yourself, sir?
Certainly. Hi, I don't know if the camera's pointing me. Hi, I'm Final Draft. I'm from Everfree Radio. Nice to meet you.
Hey guys, I'm having a bit of a sound issue.
Uh-oh.
Hold on a sec, see if I can sort this out.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
How's everyone going? How's the Bronycon going?
And we just had our interviews with the VAs. So we just talked to Ashleigh, Nicole, and
Andrea.
And we had just a great time with them, an hour and a half. And so now it's your turn.
I can kind of hear someone. I can kind of hear you said you just had your interviews, but I think there's one mic that's loud and one that's off. Can you check? Because I can hear something.
Okay.
Yeah, there.
We're going to test this mic again. Can you hear me right now? I'm going to just keep talking to see if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
No.
No, that's a no. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear that.
Wonderful. Okay.
So this is Apple Cider. This is my mic. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got to ask actually real quick.
I gotta thank Northern Dash for this.
You were sneaky with that one. Hiding that away on us. All right, that's awesome. Well, it's great to have you on. I think, as a testament to how many people are seated in the crowd right now, we absolutely just... Oh, hi. We adore just the music you guys, the amount of effort that you and the production team put into the show. It really just... Every single time there's a song, everybody goes, there's a song in this episode!
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes! So there is definitely a lot of love towards you and what you guys at Studio B are doing right now.
We've got about, 600 people here right now, and we've got at least 2,200 right now live streaming this online. So it's definitely worth noting. It's definitely becoming popular. Yes.
Cue song.
Well, tell you, or let's see. Let me not go ahead and hog anything you have there, Daniel.
The sound's kind of cutting out. I'm going to try my best to hear you guys. Okay.
Okay. Let's do this. Actually, since the Becoming Popular song is just got mentioned, we can go ahead and do that. So, how has things been with the Becoming Popular challenge that you put out there, as well as the responses you've been getting?
Yeah, that was really cool. I read one of the comments that was, I think Ingram is trying to troll us here by making us sing this very girly song that a lot of guys sang. But actually, I thought it was really fun to hear all the covers. I have a certain kind of fondness for just like acoustic covers. I spend a lot of time on YouTube when a new song comes out, listening to people just playing guitar and singing along to it. And I thought that might be a good song to hear some people do that. And I was really with a whole bunch of great submissions. I mean, one of the first ones that come in was from Bajati Games. Yeah, I'm sure you're there, man. And I thought that was amazing. Like, it just blew me away. I thought it was so good. And that's the kind of thing I love to hear. And of course, I think Mando Pony did one right away. That was really great.
Yep.
And a really nice job playing mandolin on that. Like, it's so cool for me to hear someone take a song like that and do that. And of course, there's been a ton of great remixes since as well.
Yeah. It's a very remixable song. It's very good.
Well, Mando couldn't be here today, but he did want me to say hi for him, so there you go.
Sorry, I'm cutting out on me again.
I think it's your microphone.
Someone wiggle that microphone cable.
Yeah, yep. Actually, Mando, Acoustic, Brony, and Eurobeat Odyssey all wanted to say hello. They're in the chat right now. They wanted to say hi.
So here's the man himself.
Hey guys! Awesome. See you guys. Mando writes some killer songs too. I gotta give you credit for some of those great songs you've been writing, man. Really good stuff. Yeah, I can hear a little bit there. Yeah, that's better.
Hey, you.
Hey, man.
All right, well, oh yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and start moving forward on this. Thank you very much, and nice to have you on. Hopefully, we can jump past a few of the little hurdles that we got here. So let's see. Actually, let's go through the Facebook page since you've got so many of your fans.
Lots of good questions in there.
Yeah, you've definitely loaded us up. Let's go ahead and start with just some of the basic, just the intro questions that you probably always get, and then we can get into more little specific, My Little Pony-esque stuff. So how'd you end up getting into this and doing the entire writing music for My Little Pony?
I went to school for music, and then I came in, and it's funny, I needed to get a job, and I just kind of got lucky. The first guy that was looking for an apprentice was a local composer, and he'd done a ton of cartoons already. And so he brought me in, and I just helped program samples, and I helped him kind of get his gear going. And you learn a lot when you're working with somebody who's already in the business. And he'd done about 400 episodes of cartoons. And so over about 3 or 4 years period, I started to write a lot of music with him on those shows, and we started to pitch shows together. And then one day, I have this buddy, that movie District 9?
Oh, yeah.
Or that movie Contraband that just came out. The composer for that's a buddy of mine. And he said, hey, I keep getting these calls to do this animation, and it's not really my thing. I'm kind of doing these movies, but are you interested in demoing or auditioning? And I said, yeah, let's do it. And so they through his recommendation, they let me submit an audition, and that was for Martha Speaks. And I got the show, and that was kind of got me involved with DHX Media and Studio B, and everyone.
You've got a few fans here, by the way.
Just a couple, I think.
And and then of course when My Little Pony came around, I was already working with them on several other projects, and they just said, hey Daniel, why don't you audition? So I wrote a song. I wrote the Pinkie Pie laughter song, and that was the first, that was how it all started.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
So I've got a question for you. This is Draft again from EFR. My question for you is this. You mentioned that you like some of the acoustic remixes that have been done of some of your work. Have you listened to any of the electronic ones? And if so, are there any that stand out to you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's so much good like dubstep and electro like remixes. In fact, those are some of the best. I'm trying to think of a few. You know that Wooden Toaster? He did that song, that original song. That is like... That is so good, that Beyond Her Garden song. And I know Mike the Microphone has done some amazing stuff there, too. I think he remixed that song. So that's cool. I'm like, this season, especially in season 2, I'm hearing so much great electronic stuff. And I think one of my favorite remixes this year so far, I mean, there's so much, it's hard for me to really isolate a few, but... I like what they did with the Find a Pet song. I think it was.
Is that Sim
what was
Gratina?
that? I think I even wrote it down. Electro Tank. And he did that remix of Find a Pet that was so good with all the crazy animation. And yeah, so I love that stuff too. I mean, it's just. It's funny because the new project I have coming up is going to be much more electronic, and so yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm kind of listening to that stuff and actually getting some influence in terms of what's cool these days, so it's great.
I actually just want to point something out to you. It looks like most of the musicians in the entire fandom have kind of bundled up over here.
Yes, they are.
It seems like it's the Emmys at this point.
Yeah.
They're just like, talk about my song.
We've got Alex S here. We've got Omnipony. We've got Jackalap. We've got Chain Algorithm somewhere. We've got quite a few of them. So yeah.
Sweet. That's good. Hey, nice to meet you guys. Great work.
They are geeking out, that's for certain.
You mentioned that you have a new electronic project coming up. Could you go into that a little bit and explain what that exactly is?
No, I can't.
Oh, no.
It's so unfortunate.
Is that season 3 somehow? Or
I want to talk about it, but my clients were like, listen, you can't talk about this yet. So unfortunately, but I will post it on my Facebook page as soon as it's official. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff coming up this year and next year.
Cool.
Now you did have, if I remember correctly, and I was a little curious on this, you had something around November or December. You had some sort of the symphonic thing that you were working with, if I'm remembering correctly.
I had a what?
A symphonic. You were doing something in Vancouver, I believe. It was some sort of large. I thought it was a symphonic thing that you were doing. It might have been October, or am I?
Oh yeah. I've been working. Well, I wonder what that was actually. I've been doing a lot of
one of the many thousands of awesome things we've been doing, of course.
I don't remember what that was exactly. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I've been working on a lot of different things. I'm writing a lot of songs and writing a lot of like kind of working on some like a lot of underscore. But that's pretty much. I just finished now, so I'm on to some vacation time, hopefully.
Well-earned vacation time, I think.
Yeah, thanks.
For all the work you do. Okay, so the next question is actually off your Facebook wall from Andy Noel Johnson. What is the process?
Okay, I'm sorry, guys, I can barely hear it. I was wondering if you can see if you can do something there again.
I need to use...
Love my microphone. Here.
Careful. I'm just too quiet a guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
Okay, so let's try this again.
I think it's when the audience is quiet, I can hear you more. But when they're loud, there's some kind of thing that kicks in.
Okay. So the question off of Facebook is, what's the process when it comes to the show numbers and the songs in the show? From start to finish, for example, how do you choose which ponies will sing? What style of song do you have them sing? And why? And where do you draw inspiration from while composing the song, if any?
Okay, so was the question, how do I pick which pony is going to sing the song? Yes. And where does the inspiration come from?
Yeah, pretty much how you would layer in a song, how, start to finish, when you would go, okay, this would be a good part for Dash to come in. I want it to swell here, do this. So it's the process.
Okay, well, it's interesting. For this season, I know, of course, what all the singers can do. We had there was a long period in the very beginning where we were auditioning and kind of testing out voices and deciding where we wanted voice doubles and where the actors would sing. Of course, Ashleigh and Andrea, who were there, both sing for their characters, and so it became quite clear now. Like for me, like now I could see, okay, this is what they could do, and also the writers started to see what they could do. So I think originally they thought, well, let's just have Pinkie Pie sing and maybe Twilight, and then when we discovered how good all the singers were, we started to say, well, let's do this with everybody. Let's have like a little bit more of an even distribution. And now the writers, they write the script, and they're always looking for opportunities to put in a song, and they're sort of thinking like, oh, this is a spot, let's do it here, and they have a sense that they want to have a song every few episodes, I guess, and then they'll send me some lyrics, and usually those lyrics will already identify kind of who's singing, pretty much, and then my challenge is to read the script and find out like how to make their voices work, right? And in some cases, I'll rewrite the lyrics. In other cases, the lyrics I don't even touch. They're great the way they are. I've had a lot of songs recently where they just said, Daniel, why don't you just write the lyrics for this? It's fine. And so it kind of is like on a case by case basis. But I really want to hear all of them sing equally if I can, because I love the potential of Applejack, like what she can do, and the potential of like a Rainbow Dash song, and not just. I think in season 1 it was a little bit more featuring Pinkie Pie and Twilight, and I think we're trying to get away from that. Do give everyone a shot now.
So now, are you saying then that there's a bit of an interaction between when they're preparing these episodes, when they're actually writing them? Do they come to you while they're writing the episode and say, hey, we're thinking about having a song here. Is this something you can do? Or is it more that they complete the script and then say, hey, here's where we need a song? I mean,
yeah, that's it. I get a script, right? Like they'll finish a script and they'll say, okay, here's the script, here's the song, and we need it to be about 2 minutes to make, to cover this much time, and then I'll sit down with it and just kind of build it up. And if everything makes a lot of sense, then it flows very easily. If it needs some tweaking, we'll have a back and forth conversation. And I've been lucky in most cases. What I'll do is I'll write on the piano. I'll write the song out, and I'll write the sheet music out, and I'll bring in the demo singer, and I usually use Shannon Chan Kent and or Rebecca Choi, who play Pinkie Pie and Twilight respectively, and they're friends of mine. They'll come in and they'll sing the demos, and then we'll send that demo off to Hasbro, and they'll kind of hear the song in a very raw version, like just piano and singing. And then if they go, yeah, we love this song, then we'll go back and I have guys that I work with, and we'll start to produce the song. And the production on the song can take months. We add acoustic instruments first, like mandolins and guitars and synths and drums, and then we add orchestra on top of that. And then once we've built up this like big track, I'll go back into the studio months later with the official voice actors singing that song. So if it's everybody, then everyone's in. If it's a choir, we bring in a choir, and they will all sing this track, which we then go send off to get mixed and mastered. So the whole process of putting a song together takes 3 or 4 months in some cases. It's quite amazing how long it did.
Have you ever found, and I don't know what kind of freedom you have with the material, I don't know if Hasbro just instantly owns it, but have you ever found that you've gone back and say, after it's been broadcast, reworked a song or reworked some of the orchestration that you've done, just for fun if you have time?
They've never worked. Mostly it's just been, I write it and it's done. Like, they've never given me any real, I don't get a lot of notes about it. It's really a really great relationship in that respect. They give me a lot of freedom. There have been, I think it's been like one case where I kind of wanted to, if I push it a little too far in one direction, you might reel it in a little, like say if it's a little too heavy or whatnot. But for the most case, once it's written, it's in their hands, and they can kind of, they control its future, basically.
And that leads to kind of a neat point for me to kind of run off of, because we've had some definite things that have happened recently dealing with Hasbro and copyright and things of that nature that have kind of been fun. But what I kind of wanted to find out was, so you were able to release, for instance, the Hop, Skip, and Jump song, the one that you.
Okay, hold on a sec. Sorry, it's okay. I'm just can barely hear that. So
I can speak louder. There we go.
That's good. Yeah, get right in on the microphone.
So
the microphone.
To go ahead and just kind of go on the basis with the copyright stuff, we've had some copyright fun recently in the community. And one thing I was kind of curious about is, so you, in some cases, you've been able to get the permission from Hasbro for things like the Pinky Hop, Skip, and Jump, the second or the first or second version of that to be released. In other cases, we know that there is a cleaned up version of the rock show scene that's out there. So what's the okay process on Hasbro? Will they say, okay, that's cool to go, or we're not feeling so much on that? I'm a little curious on my end.
It's funny because I didn't really get the official permission to post those demos of the Pinkie Pie song.
Oopsie.
And so I think they're kind of like locking down on it a little bit more now. I mean, I've kind of saw it as like, well, if it didn't get used in the show, I should be able to post it. But I know that I know there's like less opportunity to do that now. I've asked about the Cutie Mark Crusader song. It's funny, we never really did a good version. People keep asking, like, where's this good version? And what happened there was we got into the studio with the kids, and all of those kids are amazing singers, like Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom and everybody. I mean, they're phenomenal singers, those girls. And so I said, look, let's have them sing this really well, because I think it's funnier maybe if they did, because the song is bad already. Like, the song's kind of a cheesy song. And they said, no, let's have it sing it bad, and that was it. So we had them sing it really bad. And then we sent it off to Hasbro, and they said, well, this is really bad, but can you make it worse? And so all I did was I took that bad singing and just pitched it a little bit more extreme. But I think to most people's ears, it would be a very subtle difference. Unfortunately, we haven't actually recorded a really good version of that song. And I'd certainly love to do that. So I think if a soundtrack comes around eventually, I'm going to really push to get them back in and actually really have them sing it the way I know they can, because I know I think it'll be really a lot of fun to hear the song done that way as well.
All right, awesome.
When you were composing that song, I got a quick ask. One thing I talked to Maddie Peters and Michelle Krieber about when they were recording that song is that they really drew a lot of inspiration from, say, 80s style music. And I assume that when you wrote that song, you were trying to go for some sort of an 80s ballad sound. Is that correct? Or
yeah. I had a song I actually had listened to. I guess I listened to Total Eclipse of the Heart, and I think I listened to.
That's a great song, by the way.
I listened to another track, and it's been about 3 years since I wrote that. So about at least over two now, because the songs get written about a year before you guys hear them, and there was another song, I just can't remember right now, but yeah, I listened to a bunch of 80s music first and tried to use that as an inspiration. I mean, it's quite common in cartoons to do these kind of spoofs, and it's interesting because there are parody laws around this in the United States, and there's different ones in Canada, where a lot of times the cartoons will go, okay, like they do this with Family Guy all the time. Let's do a spoof on this song, this popular song. And you can really get away with that in the United States. And there's more license. But in Canada, they're quite strict about it. And you can get into a lot of trouble if you make something too close. So I try to stay away from doing parodying too much, just because, or like getting too close, because they do. I know composers who've gotten in hot water because of that.
Yeah. All right, sounds good. Chef, you got one right there? Oh, nope. All right. Let's see. Well, let's go ahead and move on to another one inside of here. Let's see. Here's a good one from William Munich. This one is, I assume the "Do you enjoy what you do" is pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's a great job.
So one of the things that happens, he says, writing songs constantly must be quite stressful, because you're doing My Little Pony in addition to Martha Speaks, and probably, I don't know if there's a few other shows in addition to that as well. So how is it? It is a several-month process to get a show done, but what's like the schedule you're working on? How fast do you have to get through a song? And what kind of hours are you putting in for our Pony Love, huh?
That's a great question. It's really interesting. I feel like this job is divided into two parts. So on My Little Pony, Will Anderson does the underscore, and I do the songs. So in my own career, I do both too. So I find that underscore is very strict from a timeline. Like poor Will, he gets a show on Friday, and by the following Friday, he has to have all that music in that show and off to the clients. So he gets a week to do, that's about 20 minutes of music, and that's really intense. And that happens where they basically mix the shows every single week. Doing songs, we're doing the songs on the front end. So, they're making these scripts. They have a few months before they record the voice actors, and then they have a few more months before it goes to animation. And they have several more months before it goes to mix, and then another several months before it goes to air. So I have this very long period in which I can, write a demo, record some singers. I can take months to produce it. It's very low stress doing songs, to be honest, in the sense that you have all this time. You have a lot of time. However, the stress with songwriting is if you put all this work into a song and the clients hate it, now you have to write it all over again, and that can be a real that's a real drag. Fortunately, that hasn't happened yet, but I think actually writing background music is more stressful. For the last 4 months, I've been writing background music on Pound Puppies and Martha Speaks and doing songs on a couple shows, and it's been pretty intense. I work about 14 hours a day for 7 days a week since the summer.
Wow.
So it's been a grind, I got to admit. But right now I'm off of that. I'm just doing songs for the next 4 or 5 months. So it's actually really fun to just hang out in the studio, work on a song, work with the actresses, and it's really my favorite part of the whole process.
Well, I got a question for you, going off of what you were talking about with William Anderson and his work with the background music for the episodes. Do you guys have much interaction when it comes to composing? I mean, do you try and share the kind of musical themes, for example, of an episode with him so that he can work off of that? Do you guys ever do any kind of collaboration there? I mean, I'm just wondering what that interaction is.
You know, Will and I are friends. I mean, we do talk. We just talk as colleagues. But in regard to the show, we don't actually really confer very much. That's partly because songs get written a good 8 or 9 months before he does the underscore. So I just deliver it all to him when it's done. And he drops in for his job. And it's up to him if he's going to decide to use those themes. Like I know with Winter Wrap Up, he kind of took the instrumental of that. They decided to use the instrumental again at the end of the episode. So those are decisions that are out of my hands, and I think it's great when they can incorporate themes from the songs. But I'm writing those songs so many months before the underscore that we don't really need to collaborate much on that stuff.
Okay. Do you guys have another question?
Okay, I have a question over here. Hopefully you can hear me. Actually, this is from the audience. Was it difficult to get the music rights from Sunny in the Park with George for Art of the Dress? Or was that covered under parody?
We didn't get the music rights for that. It was different enough that we didn't think it was an infringement of the copyright. I mean, a lot of that song changes a lot from... it kind of, the lyricist sort of modeled that lyrical rhythm over that, and I kind of took the rhythm, but the actual melody and the chords are different, and so we would consider that like an homage,
and that's
but not
kinda,
a ripoff. Yeah.
And that's kind of similar to the Into the Woods, Into the Gallop, some of the other some of the other ones.
It's like a starting place, like okay, let's kind of start with something in this feel, but from a strictly musicological perspective, they're quite different.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I have a question for you as well. One thing I noticed and I know that you can't go too much into this, but one thing I noticed with Finding a Pet was that it had a more Disney-esque kind of feel to the song than some of the stuff we've been hearing, say, out of season 1. Is that a direction that the show is taking with the music, or is that just an isolated sort of thing?
Yeah, I think it is. I think with Pony, we've realized that the musical theater style works really well, and it's really fun. We've been the idea of doing a musical has always from day one has been on the table. Let's sort of experiment with this kind of style in Broadway, and there's not a lot of shows that have that potential. So we're really, I love that. But I think the interesting also thing about this music in My Little Pony is that I think the main sound is that Broadway sound, but we also have this leeway to do it, and so you hear the kind of acoustic and mandolin and synth sound is also in there, and sometimes even just doing a rock song. I mean, really, the potential is there to do anything, and that might be the core that we start from.
Well, and I kind of noticed that, that song definitely had almost a Rodgers and Hammerstein kind of feel.
Okay, you got to get right in on the mic.
Sorry about that. I was going to say, I kind of noticed that song had a bit of a Rodgers and Hammerstein sort of sound to it, where they're narrating what they're doing through song, as opposed to something like Winter Wrap Up where they're describing something. And I was just curious, and I definitely have to give you credit there for that, because it was a fun thing to see in the show. It's definitely something I don't think is going on in other shows right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of there's two different ways to write a song. Like I think of the expository song, which is the storytelling song. And then there's the like song that's just about something. And most songs are kind of like you pick a theme and you write a song about that theme. That was like an expository song where you have to tell like this huge story. And that was a really interesting challenge to try to do that and still keep it musical with so much talking. So I'm really happy that the response on that song was so good.
Is that something you're looking to do a little bit more with your future songs on the show? A little more of that kind of dialogue style?
I prefer to do songs that are just like, you could summarize the song in like one sentence. I like those. I think it's a little more musical freedom if you can do a song just about something. If it's too wordy, it can get a little bit less catchy, because there's so much dialogue. But for sure, I think we still do that kind of thing.
Did you think that composing, Find a Pet was more challenging than, say, some of the other songs? Because I definitely noticed that during the course of the song, the tone of the song changes with the tone of the conversation, basically, that they're having. I'm just wondering if that's more difficult to compose for, or is it on the same sort of level?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I know I had that song came out pretty smoothly. The challenge is the longer a song gets, the harder it gets, because you're like, oh, how do I keep this interesting? I'm sure all the guys there who write songs, the first minute or so is okay, and then now you're like at 2 minutes and 3 minutes, and you're like, okay, wait a second, I need to start. This is getting a little bit boring or something. So you need to always find a way to keep it interesting, and in a song that long, that was certainly a challenge.
One thing that I know is you did that large interview with Equestria Daily a while back where you answered 14 to 17 large questions of theirs. At one point, you had mentioned inside of there for season 1 that there was that your favorite episode had not been listed yet, and it was a large orchestra piece. Obviously, that was at the gala at the time. I'm a little bit curious of, does that still remain at your top, or is there have you created something thus far that now trumps that might still be out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a bunch of new favorites now.
Okay. As well, I was wondering a little bit on that. It's just like, oh yeah, I love that, the gala song, and we all did too. But it was just one of the additional pieces of, I wonder if any of that's changed. I'm sure. I mean, I think we all can say that the season 2 stuff has been pretty remarkable. I mean, the Find a Pet song, I think everybody was just like. So yeah, very awesome.
I feel great about season 2. I can't obviously talk about it, and I think it's really fun for you just to discover it as it goes. But I came out of season 1 with like a goal to make season 2 like amazing, and I felt like really happy with it at the end. So I'm really excited to look forward to 2012 and as we continue through the season.
Well, the IRC chat, where we've got about 400 plus people there, plus 2,000 people watching our live stream right now of this, want to know if there is a remix or some form of remix that you would like to see from the fandom. And I should warn you, like I've been warning everyone else, what you say will be done.
You hold great power.
That's a good question.
It's an evil question, but it has to be asked.
A remix.
And I'm wondering if we can have the camera pointed over here where we've got our composers all sitting around eagerly waiting for your instructions.
Hey, is Rainbow Crash there or Eurobeat?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, what was that?
Is Rainbow Crash 88 or Eurobeat there as well?
Not Eurobeat.
You're on the stream though. They are listening. They're listening to you right now on our live stream. So
awesome. Those guys go way back. We go way back in beginning of season 1 there. And I guess let's see. This is really kind of lame, but I've always just wanted to hear a really good acoustic version of Pinkie Pie's Smile song. That's
wow. So now. Now wait a second. This is the unreleased Pinkie Pie Smile song we're talking about
I meant
here?
the laughter song.
Gotcha. So if someone was to say independently create an acoustic song that sounded remarkably like that song, that would be okay with you?
No, I don't think anybody should do anything until stuff is officially out. That's my opinion.
Okay.
I think the best stuff. I think a lot more people sharing the experience when it comes out officially. You know, when something is leaked, you know, it's only a handful of people who get it, and there's a lot more enthusiasm around material when you've been waiting for it and it comes for the first time and you finally get to hear it with everybody else at the first time. So that's my opinion about that.
Well, and I think one really fun part about the show too is that when we as fans watch, we have no indication in advance whether or not an episode is going to have a song or not. And you know, I think a lot of us kind of wait on the edges of our seats, and when we do hear a song beginning, you know, it's really fun. It makes watching the show that much more interesting. So.
Yeah, and it's really exciting for me to like get up on Saturday morning and check my Facebook and see like, you know, oh, a new song's come out and everybody can comment on it, and it's a very unique experience. I mean, I think most animation composers would agree. Like, we are very in the background. Most people have no idea who writes the music on a lot of cartoons, or not a lot of people don't really care. And so to be able to actually produce something and put a lot of love into it and then have it air, and in that same day get so much feedback, so much enthusiasm, is like, I know it's not going to last forever, but I tell you, it's an amazing thing for me to experience as an artist. It's really great.
I myself would both like to just thank you for the Facebook wall, as well as apologize to things that have happened on your Facebook wall.
Sorry about that.
The infamous, that was the funniest experience. I mean, the infamous, October, was that in August, I guess, where I guess I had underestimated, I think I underestimated how many people actually were paying attention. I continually do that with this fan base. I'm constantly underestimating just how much enthusiasm you guys have. And that happened when Winter Wrap Up got released a bit, because I didn't expect anyone to even notice. And then that happened when, actually, I think it was Bajati Games who said to me, you know, Daniel, you should get yourself a Facebook page and you might be surprised. And I thought, okay, well, my goal is to see if I can have 1,000 fans by 2012.
I think you've got well more than that here right now. Between the people here and the people.
I think you're a little internet popular.
Just a little bit. I think you're becoming internet popular.
There's a remix for you.
There you go.
Had to be done.
He's showing off the shirt again. One thing that we'll be wrapping this up in just a second. I did know we've got something special coming out in just a second. Though I did recall when you mentioned on the Equestria Daily interview, the laughter song actually was one of your favorite to play acoustically.
Yeah. Uh-oh, are you asking me to play it?
If you have the capabilities, I'll bat my lashes.
Okay. If I get you guys to sing along.
We would have to sing along? You know what? I think we could manage it if you could, dear sir.
All right, hold on.
Oh. You are all very welcome.
Okay, this is my custom guitar. This was made on a little island by a buddy of mine. Okay, can you hear this?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Right.
Though we are probably going to lose that the moment that they start singing, but we'll just go with it.
Okay, let's try it. I don't know. I'm just picking a random key. When I was a little...
That wasn't the way to eat.
She said, Pinky, gotta stand tall.
Learn to face your fears, you'll see.
Learn to face your fears, they can't hurt you, just laugh. Make them disappear. Ha ha ha. So gig. Let's go sleep. That far after gross snake. Crack that deep. Whoop it up with the weed. Let's kooky. Snore, let's spooky. Until I think I'm scary. Facing take a hike and leave you alone. It's the scariest thing coming in the very idea of such a thing just makes you want to. Again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Ingram on guitar.
It turned a little bit into giggle at the laggy, but it was fine.
The internet could only handle so much awesome.